Here's to you, the audience. Thank you so much for joining us for this, our final episode of Season 2. It's okay if this is your first episode, you'll still have a lot of fun as you explore the rules around Mage the Awakening's spell casting system. Mage the Awakening is one of the most powerful systems I have ever beheld, and if you're interested in telling compelling stories about magical characters in any time period, including the modern era, then this is the system for you, and this is the channel for you. We have 4 mages and a werewolf in the party. These fools have gone through a long and arduous quest to get here. I invite you to relive any of their comedic coming together. Thank you for joining us, and a special thanks out to our Discord community, including the storytellers who are telling 6 different stories related in some way on our channel. I hope that you enjoy the antics of the fools as I do every time. I never know how it's going to end, and that's part of the beauty of Mage the Awakening.
Together, we can answer the Spirit's call and right the wrongs of this and all realities.
This is a warning. This episode contains mature themes, including violence, body horror, and death. Viewer discretion is advised.
We're gonna do our best to kill a timeline. And for the love of the God Machine and everything holy in it, we will succeed.
Fools. Here, in an abyssal timeline, you act and watch as the world changes. And so far, it's changed for the better. You have passed through this time unscathed. It's remarkable how little being inside the abyss has changed you for the worse. And in fact, you feel stronger and more united now than you did before. Those of you with fate magic can roll fate plus gnosis. Trevor, if you would like to, instead of rolling fate plus gnosis, roll time plus gnosis, you may do that instead. Hunts the Storm, you don't have fate magic, but you do feel that this moment here, floating above the city of the dead, is important. Ethyl has just killed her long-lost alternate uncle, and thank goodness, because it looked like for a moment that Ethyl was going to betray the team and kill all of you. Hunts the Storm has been having a very, tense time. It hasn't broken into combat, but it feels almost like it should at any moment. The city here is unnatural. The people who move below, some of them ghosts and others odd, dressed in elegant ball gowns and other fanciful dresses. Fate mages. Successes. 2, 5, 1. Okay. Mona.
8 on time.
8 on time. Okay, well, let's go in ascending order. So Mona, with 1 success, you can tell that the next day and a half, which will bring you to 3 days, is of momentous importance, but you feel like you've done all the big quest things that you need to. You've gained the army size that you think you will require in that final battle. Now it's the time to prepare in other ways. Hannah, you feel that this group needs to come together and to really unify. You see, as Ethyl almost broke away from you, the value of a strong core. You see, like a tree, the group connected, and how that connection could grow and strengthen the others here on your side. You can sense, however distant, the life forces of the Croatan people and the dead wrens. Do you have any unspent experience points, Hannah?
I have 3 unspent experience points.
For 3 experience points, I would let you get a dot of space at a discount.
Ooh, what would that let me do?
You'd be able to sense the connections between things.
Yes, networking.
You can tell with that new appreciation of space that at the moment the other groups are probably using those blight pits as their main location. You do know that other people have gone to the blood fields. You have gone to the hanging gardens of the dead, into the city of Ozymandias, and yet other groups went into the plague city, which is Rukavira, the city of broken eyes. Here in Chennai, the land of the broken turtle shell. With 5 successes, Ethyl, you gain a beat. Ethyl, you can tell that there is this tension between yourself and reality here. It tried to corrupt you to its ways, and you shattered it. You dealt a blow to an already weakened entity, and it fell away from you easily. You feel that you have time to rest for a day and a half. You feel that the prince is no threat to you here in your kingdom, and you have so many lovely perks down below. You believe with your fated success that this city will just listen to you and accept you as its ruler, ghosts and people alike. Do you have any unspent experience points?
I do. Actually, with that beat, I now have 5.
I would offer you a deal where you pay 3 of those and get a 4-dot merit called Allies to represent your ghost army and all of your servants.
Okay, that's fun. Where do I put that? Where's merit?
Yeah, it should say high speech. I think that's the most recent one that you've gained, but it used to be where resources is.
Yes.
And you now have Allies, Ghost Army. Parallax. You had 8 successes on Time Gnosis, which, well, first of all, it's incredible. Take a beat. Second of all, gain the conditioned Informed, which you can use to get a +2 bonus to a roll, as you can kind of see out the storybook endings that play out from this moment. You can tell that the prince, which is an entity of time, is tense like a steel trap. You're in danger. But the danger isn't going to happen right now. You think that the danger will happen in 1.5 days, in fact. The prince is the timelines, and if you looked forward in time, you think that you would only see the lies that he would spin. And you recognize that learning anything about this timeline is actually dangerous, because if you're not actively using it to hurt the prince, then it's going to be creating more story for him. You understand that the prince lives as you recognize him, and you can tell that all of the time he's actually feeding towards that Zigguraut. You're not sure exactly what's going to happen, but you know that it's going to be big. I'm going to say that this scene takes place in a crystalline courtroom where you all are deciding your next plans. You aren't looking at a map, probably, because you don't want to know about a map of this area, but you've got little salt shakers or what have you to represent the different areas that you're talking about and the different people that you're talking about. They could be anything from a potato to a knife. As you introduce them in the scene, declare what the object is that is representing them.
Our group of new fun tertiary party mates, the White Putnams and the Evaneuses, who've fallen through with us. They're represented by a tiny bug. However, it keeps crawling around, so it's still got a couple legs. So I keep having to shuffle it back. And they're, I think we're probably drawing also in the ground.
Yeah.
And I felt that they were in the blight pits. Is that right?
They are. They are currently in the blight pits, but as you plan for your final assault, where would you like them to be?
I think I gotta ask. So I know where our Puritan pals are, and we sent them to find other allies like Sanjata. And if there's anyone else here who could be an ally who's not a ghost, because already a ghost party was fantastic at all.
Oh man, ghosts are like serving you things as you are going through this scene. They're just like floating through with trays of not cannibal flesh, because you've quickly outlawed cannibal flesh, though it does seem that there are some like problems in the city that aren't being fixed now. Like some of the buildings are starting to crack because of the no cannibal flesh thing.
So with the ghost army and our buddies, are we going to just go and attack our Prince of just a few leaves? Prince of just a few leaves?
Ethyl, what object would be the ghost army?
Well, I figure because the ghost army is kind of more of like a large and amorphous thing,
Mm-hmm.
I assume that there's still some amount of like urn of ashes that I've been carrying with me.
Your family's ashes?
I'm sprinkling that.
Right.
Where the ghosts are.
There's an effect of the ghosts are actually going to surround the whole thing and be everywhere all at once.
The dead wrens are represented probably by a beer mug that one of them, probably Annie, just like has clasped to her hip, like a stein.
Oh, so yeah, maybe it's been a little bit of time, and have you called all of your allies to be here in the city with you?
Yeah.
I'd say
Right.
yes. The Putnams are probably still on their way over, because, they could be here, sure.
Yeah, no, I think that the dead wrens and the Putnams have mostly returned, though it does seem that one of... Caity, would you roll me a D6? Or actually, a D10.
D10. Oh, I have so many. Okay. 1.
It seems that Tituba has gone missing, however.
Oh, that's not good.
And I think that means that someone had to go out and get them. Ethyl's been busy here ruling the dead, but who would be on the mission to go and retrieve all your allies?
We could have sent a ghost, right?
Yeah, you could have sent a ghost.
Luckily, borrow one of your ghosts
Yeah, of course.
as messengers. Make sure they don't look super scary, because I don't really know how they handle ghosts. I don't think maybe one of them is a death mage.
Yeah, but what about the Croatan people? Are you sending ghosts to them too? So do ghosts travel across the land?
I mean, I figure if when they arrive, they just say, "Be not afraid," that basically covers all their bases, right?
Right. You're not afraid, the usual. But actually, the city is quite a bit like the city of Oz, in fact, where it's all be our guest, and they would love to give you a makeover if anybody wants a makeover, if you want your nails done, if you want any sort of bloodletting festival, they've got everything here.
And it absolutely does not want to make over.
What about any food? Hannah, are you hungry?
Yeah, I think in this moment of rest, Hannah is, after everything that has happened, is just kind of I'm hungry. There are ghosts bringing me food, and is more reckless and is just doing stuff. So yeah, it's just going to be sitting there with plates and bowls of just as we're planning.
What kind of food?
Fruits, raw vegetables.
It's just not satisfying your hunger.
Mushrooms.
So delicious.
Okay. Yeah, is eating, getting grumpy, but is eating. It's
Hunts the Storm, what represents the Croatan people on the mini-map that you have created in front of you?
I pulled out from my medicine pouch, one of the various turtle shells I have, a smaller one to fit the scale. What else is here? All the other objects. And just old turtle shell. Represents people.
Where will they be during the assault?
Essentially assisting anyone who needs, there will be the support. Anyone who needs assistance, they can help. They have a variety since they've survived here for so long. They have some warriors up front with the white buttons and pirates, but also some healers who can potentially heal, and some spirit mages.
What I'm hearing is that the White Putnams and the Ebon Noose, the Dead Wrens, all the mages are going to form a sort of vanguard that is there to support the Fools. And then there will be some Croatans with that group, but there will also be other Croatans hanging back to like give aid in different places. But also there's people in the Croatan group that are not as battle ready as others. They've all fought their whole lives now, but Tayan would let you know that she doesn't think that they'll survive if you bring all of them in.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to add an element of chaos. So Mona has been given god powers and is now an angel. They believe that the god machine gave them these powers for a reason, and they want to reach out to the angels, except for the one who lives here, because that one's obviously evil.
You can't reach them. Dead connection. There's only this angel. You are the only other angel. It's you and this angel. All the other angels are gone. And you do not like this angel. That's correct.
Mm-mm. I mean, I could change this angel's, obsession. But that would require a powerful spell, and it's paradoxing here, so I'll just have to represent all angels for the god machine.
Yeah, the god machine is everywhere. It is responsible in some ways for how your magic works.
Yeah, I think I'll reach out to the god machine.
Yeah, do you want to meditate or do you want to use magic? Magic could be dangerous.
I'm going to meditate. So,
Okay.
Yeah, during this day and a half, Mona's going to take some time away and meditate.
Absolutely. Parallax, are you taking any time away to do anything?
Yeah, I know something big's going down in like 36 hours, so I'm trying to, rest up, eat up, and sort of plan as best I can, sort of think about what Parallax would be doing in the circumstance like this. But also it's like I haven't, the whole time with Elora, have not really had a chance to do like one-on-one stuff, so it'd be like a lot of catching up with her, trying to make sure we have the same plan, same ideas.
And Victoria, you play as Elora sometimes. What is Elora feeling? Also, I do want to note that Elora is the NPC who has lasted with the party the longest. You lost the other Sanjata. Turns out Byron was a villain in this reality. And what happened to Rex in the time ship?
He's in the 1692 ship. No problem.
Yeah, what about May? Anyhow, doesn't matter.
And our Irish friend.
Oh gosh, someone on the YouTube just mentioned, what happened to Brother Finnegan? Why did they leave him behind?
I miss Brother Finnegan. He was so good.
Wasn't he dead?
Yeah, I thought he died at Witch Hollow Farm.
Yeah, he does get killed, but not at Witch Hollow Farm.
Yeah, and like the one we stole the time ship, he was being killed and then puppeted by your grandmother.
Right. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad day. Real bum sauce.
So I initially was just picturing Elora just straight up training to fight in a sort of like Mulan type montage with the Ghost Army. You would think Ethyl would be training the Ghost Army to fight, but like, so Elora is doing it, and she's doing some great like axe work and they're singing, and it's A+.
Yeah, I think that there's all the other mages, so the Dead Wrens, the Ebon Noose, and the White Putnams are also going to be like training in the montage. Meanwhile, Ethyl is nearby, got a cocktail, had to invent cocktails in this universe, and now just gets to watch the ghosts do cool fighting moves.
Mocktail, she's underage.
That's right. Oh, age.
The one way I'll make Ethel responsible.
I think Hannah is watching Ethel very closely because of what has happened recently, and has been like, yeah, good job, Ethel. We're so glad you're here. And I guess like encouraging camaraderie and like little celebrations, not in like a magical way, but just like it's gonna be cool, guys. Let's learn secret handshakes and like be friends and like try and unify people. They have this idea that they're really not sure if anyone wants to do. Like, oh, I want to like make everyone have matching freckle tattoos. It'll be easier to connect us. That's magic. So will people like be willing to let me carve them? I don't think so. But they think it's a really good idea, but they really don't think anyone wants to do it.
Mona would.
Mona's, yeah, hanging out with Mona with a cocktail. Like, so Mona.
Yeah, Mona's got.
What if? There's a couple of cocktails. What if we got tattoos, but like better because it's, you know, our life force, and it'll connect us, and then we'll be connected forever, and not in a creepy way, and it won't be violent. It'll be through love, even though there's blood. Be cool.
Oh man, matching friendship tattoos.
Yeah.
Of the Fool.
Yeah.
Who is getting tattoos of the Fool? Okay, all right. Is that both Elora and Ethel? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would totally convince Elora. And we, Parallax, you have to. It's part of not tipsy because Hannah's giving into it with their like, no, I'll be a glutton. It's for the sacred purpose of our cabal and how we'll be connected. We'll have a symbol. Magic will be easier. You haven't killed us, Parallax. Come on, you're part of the team.
I would be very begrudging, but I imagine like Elora would be like, "Oh, come on, you should do this," and I'm like, "Fine, only because you asked me."
Yeah. And how's the storm? Do you think like the storm? Should we get everybody?
If this will help in the final battle,
Totally. Mm-hmm.
then I must comply.
It's like friends forever. Who's good at drawing and tattooing? Because I have a pocket knife, but
there are tattoo artists here in this city. This city is revolutionary for 1692, and Parallax, as a study of academics, you would understand that their technology is in some ways far more advanced here. You would also recognize that it's far more natural. They don't use any sorts of corrosive metals. It looks as though they're really living in harmony with nature here. Eating each other, but...
no, not. Looks tasty. Okay, so stick and poke.
Right. We cut to after the tattoos. It's been time, and now you're all gonna march off to war. Hunts the Storm, at any point, I believe that with your physiology, you could just like heal the tattoo off. And of course, Hannah as well with life magic. But no, you're intentionally
forever.
manifesting them. I love that. You're not vampires. You can do that.
Yeah, I think in the sobered up morning, maybe like morning of, Hannah's going to bring some serious, like, are we going to the Zigguraut? Are we going to go in and attack the prince in whatever armies he's got? Chain arms. His arm armies. Are we going to catch the time ship and get home? We don't know who's flying it. Do we have the Concordant with us, Mona? That box?
I don't know for sure if the Concordant is in it, but I do have this well box. Mona takes out a box.
Yeah, it's
certain
like...
people need to touch it for it to open. And it's certain people need to touch it to open. Could be all of us. We don't know. I don't know.
Davy Jones, who is with you, will explain that they once met someone who said that they read it, but then blinded themselves afterwards. There might be some sort of terrible magic on it, where if you look at it, it's bad for you.
I 100% believe that. It's the one always, all the time. It was never time duplicated. Like my awesome lightsabers. We're one of the signatures. And the White Putnam and Manuses who are here. I think this is just with us, not like the other, not near the Putnams or the, and then the Prince is the other one. All three parties are here. We have the box. We don't know what it is we agreed to or will agree to or are agreeing to because time. I don't know. Are we supposed to like destroy it or sign it? I don't want to say we should do magic to figure it out, but we should do magic to figure it out. And I totally want to say we should do magic to figure it out. Just do.
I'm ready to roll some paradox dice.
Does fate sight count as magic?
No, in fact, none of the sights count as magic at all. So you could use fate sight on the box.
Great, I'm going to do that. I'm going to peer at it and be like, I think we have to figure out some stuff before we go on the attack. Because otherwise, I mean, we should live up to our names, but like, it'd be cool if we
knew something about this box.
knew something about this box.
What's in the box? So,
4 successes on fate sight.
with 4 successes on fate sight, when you look at the box, you can tell that fate just stops. Right at the edge of the box, it just stops. Whatever is inside is unreadable and connected to nothing.
What?
Yep.
I convey that to the rest of the group after saying what out loud.
And then as you say that, you do get a feeling of imminent doom.
I step away from the box.
Yep. Feels a little bit better, but still not great.
Something doesn't feel good. My spidey senses are tingling. Can someone else look at it with their cool vision? I don't want to look at it anymore right now.
And I'll look at it with time sight, I guess.
It is while from your timeline without a time. Doesn't seem to be from any time at all. It's a paradox.
You say parabox or paradox?
Oh, paradox. It's one box.
So there's an inscription on it that we can't read. Otherwise, we want to blind ourselves or could blind ourselves. Bad things happen, right?
Well, the box itself seems to be just... When you look at it with your different mage sights, it doesn't seem to exist properly. When you look at it with matter sight, it doesn't seem to be made out of any material. When you look at it with prime sight, every object in the universe is made out of mana, and this doesn't seem to be. When you look at it with forces, it is exerting a force that would have a reasonable weight inside of it, as if there is definitely something there. If you shake it, you don't hear any sounds.
Is it heavy?
It's like a pound. It's not super heavy, but it's got a heft to it.
With prime 6, is it still just not made of prime? Because Mona likes to figure out.
Yeah, roll prime gnosis. I think this is a good time for that. Parallax or Hannah, if you'd like to, you could roll space plus gnosis.
2 space plus gnosis.
The 5. Okay, I'll get
Also
to that.
5.
Also 5. So with 2, Hannah, you can tell that space just stops as you look at the box, but Parallax, with an exceptional success on this, you can tell that the box is in some way its own realm. While it may seem to weigh 1 pound, it could have an infinite amount of space inside of it. All you know is that the borders of this box seem to be kept in place by some sort of powerful space magic. It doesn't feel like awakened magic. And Mona, when you look at it, you recognize it as being threaded with Abyssal. It's not an abyssal spell exactly, but there is an abyssal influence here. It's like 1/3 abyss woven with 2/3 not the abyss.
It's one of the signatories is the abyss.
Yeah.
It's
This
containing.
contract should not exist. I vote we destroy it.
It feels like it's containing like an anti, right? If there's a boundary. If we do destroy it, it might unleash something, and maybe it'll unleash a thing that will eat this because it's not anything, right? It's like a void that's devoid of everything.
It might be possible for Ethyl or Mona to try to destroy it with their magic. Death and Prime both have some purview into destroying this thing.
Could we do it together for a higher chance of success?
Yeah, if the two of you grasp the box, I think there's a good
I'm gonna have to interject before you guys destroy it and be like, I think that's a really bad idea, and I don't think we should do that.
I agree with Parallax.
I put my spear on it. What happens?
Indestructible. It doesn't shatter or rip.
Do I feel anything coming off of it?
No, but the feeling of nothing is a feeling. You feel the absence of feeling, and it is haunting.
This box must be destroyed.
Parallax, can you see what happens if we destroy the box? I have a terrible feeling about it and about destroying it. But it also might be the way to do the thing if it is containing a void, but maybe that's worse. I don't know. I know it's magic, but can we help make it less terrible in some way? Slowly.
The only way that I think we could make it not paradox is if we sort of believe in the prince and do cannibalism. Yeah. So
I can roll paradox though, and you can spend mana to reduce it down to a chance die.
yeah, it's like 10 mana to reduce it to a chance die, right?
What is your gnosis right now?
6.
So I believe it is 3 dice of paradox, and you could reduce it with your tool. Oh, and it's auto 3 dice here, so it's 6 dice of paradox. And then you reduce it with your tool down 2 to 4 dice of paradox. And then you spend 4 mana to make it no paradox.
All right, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, and I will roll 1d10 of paradox.
All right.
Roll your time gnosis. Oh.
And this is to see what happens if we open it, or to ask a couple questions.
Ask some questions about the box.
Make it worth it.
All right, yeah. 3 successes.
3 successes and no paradox. You may ask 3 questions.
I could be pretty open-ended with these questions, right? It's
You
not
sure
like,
can.
yeah. I'm going to peer ahead and see what happens if we destroy the box through magic.
You see that if you destroy the box, all of you rise from this world safe. Roll wits plus composure.
2 successes.
You recognize that this vision is being given to you by the Prince of Leaves. You recognize that this is now what happens. As you looked forward with your divination to ask what happened, the Prince wrote what happened. And you all leave.
Cool. Yeah, so I can't trust anything.
But you get 2 more questions.
Do I even want to ask any more questions? It seems like anything I ask, I know it's just going to be fake, or who knows?
Fake until it becomes real.
For that one, if we get to get out of here, that sounds like it's something he would want us to do.
Ooh,
We
you could
don't
ask,
destroy the box.
what
happens
does the
if we
prince?
open the box?
You could ask what the Prince of Leaves wants. What do they want with the box? Yeah,
All right, yeah. What will the prince do with the box if he has it? Why does he want it?
You sense that the Prince doesn't want the box. They don't care what you do with it. You see yourself leaving it behind.
If we destroy the box, then we get to go home. He doesn't want us to do anything. We should just leave it here.
All right. Yeah. What if we open it through normal means?
Yeah, what happened?
If you open it through normal means, you see the group of you, your hands, as well as the white Putnams and the Ebon Noose touching the box, opens the box. As the box opens, inside there is a piece of paper. In your vision, you see as the group tries to contain it, but then something happens to Hannah, who turns into a monster and begins to consume you all.
Okay. Well, that's the thing, too. We also can't trust anything that I just divinated because, he's influencing everything I see.
I've told everyone that I'm hungry, right?
Yeah, you've told people that you're hungry. People have been noticing that you've been eating a lot today.
Or did I think I told them about the Wendigos.
Yep, that you've got an abyssal sickness inside of you.
Yeah. Yep, I've got an abyssal sickness inside of me, and I feel ultimate doom when I'm around that box. So maybe that last one might be real, Parallax.
Oh, to be clear, they're all real. These are really what happens if you do those things. They're just also what the prince wants you to know.
Right, so like other things can happen too. We're just seeing a part of it.
No. If those things happen, that's what happens. But that's what the prince wants you to know what happens. Other things can happen in addition to those things happening.
Yeah, so like if we destroy the box, we get out of here, but also his timeline is free or something. Or, we open the box, we see the paper, we can destroy the paper. I still turn into a monster, but maybe...
All right.
I don't know, something.
Are you ready to march on the Zigguraut?
I say yes.
Actually, can I have a one-on-one with Mona about my abyssal sickness before we go?
Yeah.
I'm sitting there with 4 people next to me, Mona. So you're an angel now.
Correct.
Can you untaint me? I am hungry and now scared.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I can definitely give it a try. Okay, just lie down. I'm going to put this cross on your forehead. And then I'm going to speak in high speech.
Yep.
I'm going to use something called God Powers 5.
Yeah. I would note that this is going to be a spell. And so you are going to have a chance of paradox.
Yep.
Your gnosis is 7?
Yes.
And you're using your tool, so we're still looking at 4 dice of paradox. Do you have any mana to spend to reduce those?
I have 1 mana.
So I will roll 3 dice of paradox.
And I'll use 2 willpowers.
You can only use 1 willpower. So you can say
use 1 willpower.
If we combine magics, like combining spirit or something, does that reduce paradox?
It
or
does
just
not.
Help the spell?
Right. Could I assist with the banish ritual?
Yes, you absolutely could.
And I'm going to connect our matching tattoos as well. I'm kind of lying on top of you.
Yeah, Hunt's Storm should definitely help.
So you get a +5 bonus to this roll in addition to your god powers and your gnosis. Yeah, and then Ish, would you roll a wits occult check?
Are there spirits involved? That's my specialty.
There are spirits involved, yes.
Okay. No successes.
No successes. Okay. Would you like to make it a dramatic failure for a beat?
Yeah.
Great. Mona, how'd you do on that spell?
3 successes.
I've got some bad news for you. There are also 3 successes of Parallax.
Oh.
You're rolling twice. So you can roll your wisdom to try to contain it.
0 successes.
0 successes. Oh man, I have not gotten
I'm gonna
this
die.
juicy paradox in so long. I don't even know what I can do with 3 successes anymore. Oh, what
we're
a
starting off with
luxury. You
bad
didn't even
rolls.
go to the dangerous bit and you're just ripping things out of your soul. No big deal.
And that was for me like a 17 dice pool. I only got 3.
As the ritual occurs, Mona, the spell succeeds. You pull out this hungry part, severing it from Hannah's soul. You can see it. It looks like the Wendigo. Hannah, you instantly feel less hungry. And then, Mona, it bites into your hand. The darkness taints up your arm, and you now have an abyssally tainted nimbus.
That's okay. I think I've already had one before, so.
As you do this thing, the effect ripples out and hunts the storm. You can see as each one of your wards shatters and explodes one by one through this abyssal energy that radiates off of this. And then the entire city explodes. All of you take 4 points of lethal damage, as does everybody in the city, as it shatters into crystalline fragments, embedding themselves in you. Hannah, you take 2 less points of damage as you engage life. Ethyl, you take it all as bashing damage if you engage death. Or how much matter do you have? 4. With 4 matter, okay, so number 1, you take no damage. You just stop it all. Number 2, if you'd like to, you could right now reflexively roll a matter spell to try to catch the entire city. Now, once again, this spell could paradox.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to roll it.
Okay, so you're going to roll matter plus gnosis plus 1 for your dedicated tool as you cast this spell. And it is still 5 dice of paradox. So would you like to spend any mana to reduce that?
How many can I spend?
Up to 5.
Let's bring it down to 3, so I'll spend 2.
Okay.
And then can I also speak in high speech?
You can't because it's happening so fast.
Okay, cheers.
There are 2 successes of paradox already. And it's a 10. There's 2 successes of paradox.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mona. I appreciate your help. I feel so much better.
Technically succeeded.
Mona, do you have any, how many dots of forces do you have?
4.
You can stop all the damage too, actually.
Oh, great.
But you do still have the Abyssal Taint. Parallax, you're going to use your shield?
I look at the blood and I'm like, oh, wait, this is my margarita.
6 successes. Okay. And would you also roll your wisdom to stop the paradox or contain it? Unless you'd like to release the paradox. Not right.
No, I'll roll wisdom. So do I roll 1 for every wisdom I still
That's
have?
right. And how much wisdom do you have these days?
I mean, it's somehow 7.
Wow. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. Huh? I just lost a die. Hopefully I wouldn't get
Mona,
one.
to just roll 0 to contain that other paradox. 1. The world ripples and shatters. The city explodes. Ethyl, you feel people throughout the city, ghosts torn apart by this destructive abyssal energy. But in your immediate area, you manage to protect all of the people that we've been talking about, keeping them safe in a field of matter. The city explodes and that orb falls towards the ground. It will take another spell to protect you from its impact into the ground. Space is magic, matter magic, or Forces magic would be easily applicable. You are now in a sphere of glass, what remains of the planet, and with 6 successes, you can describe... Actually, with 6 successes, it has legs. It catches you, and it folds down onto the ground. The sky grows dark.
That went well.
City's still here. Our part.
Everyone's okay?
Not hungry?
Oh, I'm really full right now. I ate so much food. I just hand a bowl of my mushrooms over to Mona. Okay, here you go. You're a vegetarian now.
Yeah, Hannah might never eat again.
Mona takes the rest of her margarita and downs it.
Like the bottom of the glass is broken.
Yeah. It's gone.
As you're standing here, from the sky, those long chains shoot down and begin grabbing people. You're under attack.
Is it go time? What is our count?
Go time. You're very far away. It is closer. So you didn't think it was go time, but it might be go time.
No, we have a whole nother day.
No, you do not.
Oh, no, it's go time.
Where are the chains coming from?
The sky, the big clouds that you saw.
Oh man, chains are a huge part of the God machine because like chains and gears all get connected in the God machine. Can Mona use Prime 6 to like create these giant gears that will hook onto the chains and divert them into like other gears?
Yeah, roll Prime plus Gnosis. Once again, this is a spell, the second Paradox potential spell that you cast this game, which means that there are 5 dice of Paradox. Would you like to spend any mana to reduce that?
I have no mana left. Dang, how do you fight someone when you can't do magic? My muscles aren't that big. Use the ghosts. I don't know.
Oh yeah, ghost. Can we just like sink into death for a hot minute?
You cast any spell you want to for a hot minute.
I mean, can we ghost gate out of here?
Yes, but once again, that's a spell, and so it has a chance of paradoxing. And since you've already paradoxed once this encounter, there are 6 dice of paradox with the tool.
I mean, we could just use our physical attributes to dodge.
Yeah, I'll take my wing. I like spread my wings. Who needs a ride? I can carry one person.
Ethyl has like no physical attributes. She would love a ride.
I mean, can't your ghosts fly? You could probably be flown by your ghosts.
Oh my god, is that true? Can that happen?
The ghost can fly, and you are all in a giant orb of crystal that Ethyl created.
Yes.
Would that be so cool? Like Santa Claus, but with ghosts?
Take us to the Ziggy on the ghost carriage, Ethel.
Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Would you roll 10 dice for me? Representing ghosts doing stuff. I'm assuming they get some successes, and they begin to levitate the entire crystal remains of Oz away from the wreckage and bodies.
And
through the sky.
I help. I'm in the ghosts. I'm with the ghosts. And I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, you're
like Rudolph.
Yeah, I'm using my inspiring presence of just being there, and the ghosts.
Yeah, in fact, you can give everybody back a willpower if you'd like to.
Yes.
Everybody regains a willpower as Mona inspires you.
I rolled 9 on this like goat chariot shenanigans.
It is so fast. Like the chains come down to try to like get this thing, and it's like whoop, whoop. You're right there. You're right hanging over the Zigguraut. You do have a sizable army of over 100 people and maybe 1,000 ghosts. It's not as big as it was a moment ago before the city exploded, but it's an elite strike team, and no one is staying back. They're just going to drop everybody on the front line, so they're not all combatants, but you've now flown everybody directly to the Zigguraut. Through the crystalline structure of this thing, you can see that it's abandoned.
Mona takes like a rock and just smashes it into the ziggurat. Let's go!
All right, you smash out of the sphere. There's a giant hole here at the ziggurat, and you step outside and you can see down into the hole. There is blood here, and then you see the organs stretched around you. It just kind of become like decor, but Parallax, you recognize them. You follow the intestinal string back to Anasi, a torso of a man who once trained you in time magic. He's very close to you, the closest he's ever been. You usually saw him looking across the ziggurat. For what to you has been years, you're not sure what it has been like to Anasi flayed out like this. But his dried and flaking fingers brush against your hand as you emerge. He looks up at you and smiles. There is no time in this moment, just Parallax and Anasi. There is no spell being cast, but you can tell that there is some sort of magical effect happening. Roll an intelligence occult check.
2 successes.
With 2 successes, you can tell that the way that he's doing this is what mages call a legacy. Hannah has one of these. They are spell-like abilities that do not cause paradox, and they are using it to gain time here with you. Do you have any unspent experience points?
I do have 4.
You have 4. Right now, in this moment, would you like to spend all 4 of those for mystery boons along the way?
Absolutely. Yeah.
In a moment that we will return to in the future, you live out a lifetime learning with Anasi. You find yourself adopted into his legacy, and you will be able to cast spell-like effects without incurring paradox. Anasi also explains that there is a purpose for you, the fools, beyond this, or at least those of you who survived. He's sorry that you have to go back to this moment. He remembers how painful it is. And then he explodes into blood. All of his organs pop. The world, the sky goes dark. Everything crumples inwards towards you. And you see a ripping mouth open above you in the sky. And the prince says, and this is sort of when time has now unpaused for everybody here.
Thank you for being here. If you had been above, you would have anchored that reality. But now you anchor mine. My reality is the reality above. This is what the world is. There is no world for you to return to. This is all there is.
Are you lying?
You cannot tell. It's like high speech, but it's abyssal. That might mean that he could lie, but you're not sure. The prince then states, as you are being looked down upon,
Soon you will no longer exist, because my timeline has begun here in 1692, and you all don't exist then. Your time ship will never exist. Your adventures will never exist. You may serve me here, and I have a way to ensure that you continue to exist. All you need to do is sign this concordant.
Does he have one in his hand?
Yeah, I think that it ripples down and becomes like this 11-foot tall, muscly mass of flesh. It's got no real eyes, just these two black pits, and it's holding a piece of paper in its hand.
I have a question.
Yes.
So it's like, here's this contract, sign it. But that's not the thing that's in the box. It's a different one.
It could be. That box is so magical, it could be in both right now.
Here's the deal. I will allow your reality to exist until the point at which you take the contract. He looks over at Mona that you've been carrying with you out of reality, at which point reality will become mine, and the timeline that you destroyed will become my timeline.
So we're holding the contract that we supposedly sign right now in my box?
Yes. And if you don't sign it, then in 1692, I will come to be and exist from that point on.
Huh.
It's a bit paradoxical, you could say.
You got something in your throat?
I don't have a throat.
The world shakes, and suddenly, all around you, monstrous creatures. They look like animals with dead flesh grafted to them to become these monstrous horrors. And the animals are the megafauna of America. So there's like giant beavers. There are mooses that are like 15 feet tall. There are huge birds, huge bats, and they are all around you, and they are coming towards you all now, massing towards the Zigguraut. And they're not the only ones. Apparently, in the woods, there were many followers of the prince, because they are now here as a crowd has assembled to watch the sacrifice.
Who's the sacrifice?
I think we are.
Well, don't be so rash. We can't sign it if we're dead.
Wait, so I need to write it down because the logic is making my head hurt. Yeah,
we're gonna crunch
just write it again. Okay, so that timeline exists now. That's the reality. But our timeline can continue to exist if we sign the thing.
Up to a point, at which point I will take it back.
Until we sign the thing. And then when we take the box out of reality,
Yes.
you get the timeline.
Yes.
What's in it for us?
What's in it for you?
Deaths will be less painful.
But if you have the timeline already, why do you want us to sign this?
I would trade your company here. As your companion knows, even the dead can be excellent company.
You wanna hang out with us?
I think at this point, Davy Jones yells, "Let's set him on fire!"
My response was, it sounds like he needs a hug.
Right? It was like, you want to be friends?
the answer is friendship for the second time in a row. That would be great.
That's his bane, right? It's love and joy.
Yeah.
Let's all hug him.
Okay, can all the ghosts rush in and hug him too?
Yeah, Mona's gonna hug him.
Oh man. No, I don't want your company. No, what are you doing?
Just embrace it.
Burning as you are hugging him, but it actually feels very pleasant on your skin.
Oh man, a group hug, the Prince of the
Yeah,
Dust.
get in. It's even better when you get sandwiched. Come on, guys. You're the same size as Parallax.
As you each begin to join the group hug, the prince is in more and more discomfort as the sky begins to burn away. Down below, the creatures howl and charge, and your army here begins to have to get involved, and they start to defend the top of the ziggurat as you are hugging the prince of 10,000 leaves out of existence.
I see it working, and I give him a kiss on the cheek. Kisses! Yeah.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. That's what you're saying.
I think it's your fault.
No, it is your fault, fool! It is your fault! And he shatters up into tiny little pieces. The sky has now ruptured open. Mona roll prime gnosis, but everybody, you see it breaking through the blood red sky in a patch of brilliant blue sunlight, glimmering every color of the rainbow, with light white clouds surrounding it. Its form imperceptible at first, but then you recognize the storm. The Ouroboros, the time machine, descends from the sky. It is miles long, and its form, instead of blocking out the sun, becomes almost as a new sun, glowing and luminescent. The center of the snake opens in glorious, blinding white light. And you hear Rex's voice say, "Get on quick. We don't have much time." The center of the ship with the glowing white light creates a platform of celestial stairs that echo down to you. As you step upon them, they ring with pure notes. Standing at the top of the staircase, with their head encased in purple energy sparkling, is Reverend Samuel Paris. The Ouroboros. Then, as you rush up the stairs, you see that there are vines snaking out, but they're made of flesh. Next to them, fire, but made of shadows, strike out, protecting you as you run. A figure dressed in the clothes typical of a First Nation person in 1692 has these arms of shadow, and the person with the arms of flesh extended down, split into a fractal, is known to you. May. Some compromises had to be made, said Rex, but this wasn't my idea. And then, are you all running up the stairs, or are you doing anything else here?
I think Mona's gonna chuck the box in that hole.
Yeah. The box falls in, and as it hits the center, Abyss touches Abyss, and this whole thing crumbles to the ground. Everybody screams and dives onto the stairs.
Yeah, we're trying to get all the people on first. That's what I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll, I think this is a skill check if you're trying to help all the people, because they do need help. There's quite a few people here.
Yeah.
For the most part, the Croatans don't necessarily need all that much help.
But yeah, everybody else.
What sort of skill would you like to use in this situation? Maybe composure plus presence? And we let's add your cunning to this roll as well.
Okay. I'll roll that.
Oh, I love your hand, Victoria.
Yeah. Can I just use my pulling physically people up onto the ship?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Mona's gonna stand at the entrance looking like an angel glowing with power and saying, "Come to your salvation!"
Okay. One success on organizing people. You get the people up, and you recognize Tayan, who like puts a hand on your shoulder, and then she starts doing it way more effectively. You know, she's right next to you, and the two of you are acting in concert. Most of the monsters aren't making this close up, but there are a few. A monstrous moose, a gigantic armored turtle, and the turtle looks at you, Hunts the Storm, and you see in its flesh eyes rotting backwards. It's hungry for you, and it's not finished yet. Mona and Hannah, you want to roll a check of some kind? Hannah, maybe a whatever your highest physical attribute is, plus athletics.
I did. I got one success.
And I did inspiring presence plus gnosis and got 4.
Actually, can I roll a willpower to help more people?
Yeah, you can reflexively roll a willpower.
See another tiny person. Come on. I got 2 more, so that's 3.
With 2 more successes, you do get a lot more people on, extending your arms out. You pull them up, throwing them onto the stairs. Some of them you throw a considerable distance, like 30 feet, and they land awkwardly, but then they keep running. You see in the distance that there is a lightning storm that is cruising towards the Zigguraut.
What about... Oh, sorry.
One last thing. Hannah, in spirit tongue, you hear a voice say, "Wait for me."
So sorry. What about the ghosts? I say to everybody, should we leave them? Do they get unmade if we leave them? I don't want to leave them in the abyssal realm.
Yeah, take him with us. We can put him back in the ghost world.
Okay. Yeah, can we pull the ghosts onto the time ship?
You can. And as you do, in fact, as they begin to get on board, Ethyl, you feel them just they disintegrate almost, as if being inside the time ship is against their reality. They're starting to dissolve. You could roll a death spell to protect them, but once again, paradox.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want these ghosts to die again, and we're leaving anyway. So, death gnosis.
Death gnosis +1. There are 5 dice of paradox.
Okay, I can get my last 2 mana. We can make it 3.
If you'd like to take a point of resistant bashing damage, you can actually get it down to a chance die.
Sure.
Okay. And there is Paradox. It's a 10. Okay, it's just one success.
Wow.
Wow. Oh my gosh, there's 25 new messages. I looked away for a second.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
This keeps going.
10. This is insane. I'm rolling so many 10s. I got 10 successes.
You do roll your wisdom as well, but you only need one success on that. Wow.
So mess it up now, Ethyl. I keep rolling 10s. It's wild. I wish you could see my dices. I promise I'm not lying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If you get no successes on this, I do get to change the target of your spell.
Oh, God. I got 2. I have 2 9s.
You take one more point of bashing damage, and you preserve all the ghosts as they pour through. Somehow, even though the fact that being in something antithetical to them, with your arc mastery of death, you've managed to make it so that that ends. And your ghost army pours through the gates onto the time machine.
Ghosts.
Oh, man.
Apples are gonna love them. Byron's gonna be my Byron, not cruddy Byron. It's gonna be so excited for all his new friends.
You go up towards the top, and Sanjata gets to the top, right next to Ethyl and Parallax, who have climbed almost all the way. I think Elora as well. And as Sanjata puts out their hand to go up into it, Ethyl, you can see that their hand begins to start dissolving as well. Sanjata is from this timeline, and it seems that the timeline is being burned away here. Parallax, you know from your conversations that you've just had, and we're going to send a session experiencing, that the prince has just been very badly weakened, but the prince has not been completely destroyed. You do know how to completely destroy him, and it can't happen here.
It's with your sword.
If not here, then where?
Egypt, long ago.
Oh. All right, I guess we're going on a little adventure then on the time ship.
Are you, though? As that cloud nears and the animals come closer, who is staying to defend the last people working their way up the stairs? Hunts the Storm. Tayan. Hannah.
I feel like this is a moment that Elora can step in too and fight.
Yeah, if Laura's going, I'm going.
Parallax.
No, I could hear the spirit, whose voice that was.
You don't immediately recognize it, but roll intelligence composure.
4.
It was Tituba. That's Tituba coming with a storm spirit.
Oh, cool. Oh, wait. She disappeared for a period of time. Can I use Fate Sight while I'm defending the people? Be like, is this the time to leave?
Roll Fate Gnosis as you look around. Elora rushes down the stairs as the giant moose shatters through them. Elora and Parallax, you can try to take out this moose, or you can try to rescue the people cut off on the bottom. What would you do?
It's a 15-foot moose, right?
Yeah, but it's just shattered the base of the ziggurat. It's climbed all the way up. There's people fighting down at the bottom, Hannah included, Hunts the Storm included.
Yeah, I'm probably going to sort of just help the people at the base.
Space magic?
Yeah, do some space magic. Get
All
them
right.
a little closer.
What would Elora do?
I think Elora would like to fight
Giant moose?
Giant Moose.
I can help.
Okay, cheers.
Yeah, Mona swoops down with these giant wings. So I think fight giant moose sounds like a weaponry attack. So maybe a strength weaponry. And Parallax, once again, there is paradox on this space spell to help people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it is 5 dice of paradox right now with your tool.
Yeah, I'll bring it down to a chance die.
Okay. So you pour all your remaining mana into this spell to save people. And paradox does not occur. Roll Space Gnosis. Caity, did you get any successes on the Fate plus Gnosis?
I was going to ask if I can add my Destiny Doom merit dice
You can.
at moment.
Four successes on the space spell.
With 4 successes on that space spell, you are teleporting everybody one by one directly up to the gates right before the time shift. They're going through. The giant claws in the sky aren't getting any of them. Neither are the people who are left behind down here. 5 successes on the Fate Destiny.
First critical success today.
Okay, well, the first thing that happens is, how many dice of Destiny do you have?
It was 3.
Your destiny is gone. You've broken free of it. Now, you have 3 more experience points instead. You also gain a beat. You can also tell that the prince is not completely destroyed yet here, and the prince is going to try to kill you all. The prince is going to kill at least 1 person. And with 5 successes, you know who it has to be. I'll tell you who that person is in a matter of time, unless you want to think that you know who it is already.
Elora got 2 on fighting a moose.
Elora leaps onto a moose and buries the axe into it. The moose screams. It has way more hit points. It is not going down from that axe hit. Elora is now in danger. Hunts the Storm, would you leap into the battle?
Yes, of course, of course.
All right, roll
Yeah.
your attack roll.
And Mona got 1 with the moose, but their virtue is hero.
Yeah, you know what? You regain your willpower, all of it, from being heroic. Just then, a gigantic badger jumps out and tries to kill Mona. Mona, what's your defense these days?
5.
5. Okay, so it does not have a very good chance of hitting you. If you'd like to spend a willpower, you can make it a chance die.
Let's do it.
The beaver gets a dramatic failure on its attack against you.
Yeah. What if the beaver hurts the moose instead?
Well, what happens is the beaver leaps through the air, spinning with its teeth, trying to gnash your wings, and then it collides with the moose. And Elora Hunts the Storm. How many successes on that?
6.
Just as the moose gets ripped in half by this werewolf, and then the top half and the beaver fall down into the hordes of cannibals below. The cannibals seem to be disintegrating, sort of melting into white light. The ground shakes, and then everything snaps towards you as Mona, the sleeping angel, has awoken, the one that's inside of this planet. It rises in a way that none of you can look at it and comprehend it except for Mona. Mona is your sister, but you can tell that she's mad. She's so mad. And she takes her flail and she wraps it, spinning it towards all of you, wrapping out at the ladder as the rest of your friends climb or teleport out. And Parallax, the section of ladder that you're on got severed at the bottom. It has now just been severed at the top. And that whole section of ladder is falling.
Really?
Is
Well, I
there
guess
anyone on that ladder falling? Is it just Parallax?
There is someone else at the top of the ladder as well. I think that the last of the dead wrens are just leaping to safety, and Sanjata, who hasn't been able to go up the ladder, is still there. Davy Jones calls out to him as it falls.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to jump to safety, I guess.
There is no safety. It's
No.
hundreds of feet.
Oh, it's that tall. Oh, well. Yeah, I guess I'll do do another space spell to teleport.
Oh, I think it's 6 dice of Paradox now. Do you have any mana?
Wait. Actually, I think I might have spent.
I can fly.
Yes, you don't.
I'm between you and my sister Angel.
I think that you do see Mona, and you recognize that she could save you if you don't want to roll a space spell.
Yeah, I might be like sort of flailing then, because I definitely don't have enough mana to be doing that thing.
All right. That means that you'll roll a Dex plus Athletics check to catch Parallax. What's the rest of the group doing? There are still portals open that you could leap through to leave.
Portals to where?
Portals to the step right before the time ship's opening. So you could leap through it and jump into the time ship. It would take an athletics roll to do.
Well, I want to do that, but I want to make sure I can help anyone who needs help as much as possible.
I think that it'll take one more round for all the Croatans to get through. Tayan nods and she goes through right now.
Sure. But I want to help these guys too.
Yeah, and they're still all here.
Yeah.
Tana, you're at the entrance of the portal. Do you want to jump through? Oh, who's the person who, best case, if they are the one who dies?
I mean, best case.
Yeah. Fate said that there was a best case, a best person to die.
You're making Caity choose?
No, I think Caity already
So the
knows.
thing is, I think so too, and I'm really sad, but I don't know if I'm right. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you what I'm thinking. So technically, Hannah's already died before, because that's how they became Hannah. Like, Dorothy died.
Yeah.
Died. They've already done it before. And so Hannah could die. They might come back though, because they're alive. But it could just be like Hannah is gone and then someone new is them. That's a possibility. They also have this really cool spell that I made up so long ago in last season that I've always wanted to do, and I haven't been able to do it yet.
What's the spell?
Really cool. It's called an eye for an eye.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fate life spell, and it's basically you connect two people, and if I cast it on myself and the Prince of 10,000 leaves and the Prince of 10,000 leaves hurts me, then that will be
10,000
reflected.
leaves isn't alive, though.
Oh no, he's dead.
He's a entity.
Then we could have consumed. It would have been like a perfect justice thing. Okay, well, I guess I could still just.
But while Hannah absolutely can be the person who stays behind and dies, there is a person who can stay behind and die, and fate thinks that that's the best ending. And that is Sanjata, who stands from the wreckage.
Ooh. Like fresh Sanjata?
Fresh Sanjata. Not undead Sanjata.
Is this how Sanjata died the first time?
This is a way that Sanjata sometimes dies.
That's right. We had that timeline about how he has to die, doesn't he?
If he doesn't die, he can't go through onto the time ship. But if he does die, then Ethyl can preserve him like those ghosts.
I mean, I feel we should ask for his consent, but I'm happy to make him a ghost.
Ethyl doesn't know about this right now. It's just Hannah. Hannah, you can jump through the portal or you can stay.
So where is Sanjata?
Sanjata is pretty far away from you. He was on the stairs when it collapsed, and Mona didn't catch him. He survived, but it definitely looks like he got hit real hard.
So if I just leave, then Sanjata will be here and he will die.
No. You're not sure how to make that happen. You just know that the best case scenario happens when Sanjata is the one who dies.
Well, for now, I'm going to rescue him.
Okay. Roll your athletics as you run over to him. He's very athletic as well, and he starts to run towards you, but you are running away from the portals. Parallax, you're maintaining the portals?
Yeah, as best I can while Mona catches me.
Many of the people who are protecting them, mostly the werewolves, have left the line of the portals, and the first cannibal jumps through.
Oh, yeah, if that's the case, I'm going to start closing them once the
Elora
cannibals get
isn't
into
through. There's a bunch of people who aren't through yet.
I'm going to leave one open, but I'm going to start closing them.
Okay.
Yeah, can't risk the ship.
Mona, you're carrying Parallax. The two of you sailing above the battle. The chains of your sister wrap. Those chains that you saw in the clouds are tied somehow to her. And she is angry, wrathful, lashing at the world. You failed to catch Parallax?
Yeah, I'm not really strong, so I didn't get any successes.
Would you like to turn that failure into a dramatic failure?
No, I never do.
All right, so as you are falling, a giant arm of your sister tries to grab through Parallax, and as fate would have it, it doesn't hit either of you. You swing out of the way. But now, Parallax is very close to falling, and if you do not succeed on the death athletics check this round, he will crunch into the ground for a lot of lethal damage and not be happy. Though you could also use fate magic, Trevor.
Sure. I don't want to spell.
I got 3 successes this time. It's cool.
Okay. Well, fate magic would have had paradox, and wings don't have no paradox. You are snatched at just the final second, which does take Mona's action and knocks the wind out of you. I think Elora has fought her way to the portal. And she looks over at Parallax, but you're pretty far away. Hannah, you've rushed. You've gotten to Sanjata. The two of you are running back across the field.
I think we're running towards the last portal. Is there anyone else that needs to be rescued?
Which is being held by Hunts the Storm at this moment.
Is there anyone else who needs to be rescued?
Elora, the two of you, Hunts the Storms holding the gate, and the two in the sky who are being attacked by an angel. Though, to you, it just looks like those big chain hands.
Okay, I think me and Sanjata should help collect everyone else who isn't, like, immediately ready to get on board.
Okay, so Elora and everybody, that's it, really. It's just Elora, Sanjata, and you, so you just need to get back.
So we need to get chain arms, McGee, and Mona and Parallax.
Mona and Parallax are flying around. They do need to get back. They're up in the sky. They could go to the portal, too. Or they could try to fly back up to the ship. Hunts, would you roll to defend the portal? Maybe I think that this one's going to be strength plus weaponry. And you can add, add your cunning again. Or add one of your renowns, you know?
Yeah, this seems like glory or honor.
Yeah, why don't you add your glory or honor, your choice. Which one would you like?
Honor.
You gain another dot of honor as you do so.
Whoa.
Last one behind to make sure all the Croatan people got home.
Yeah.
And yeah, Mona's flying with Parallax.
Are you flying? Are you leaving? Are you going back to the time ship?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to need to roll another Dex Athletics check to get there.
I mean, which is closer, the ship or the portal?
The portal is closer, but it's a small opening that you'd have to fly through.
I mean, you could put me down and we could just go through it safely instead of trying to fly through it.
Oh yeah, is that an option?
Surrounded by a cannibal army that Hunts the Storm is holding back.
Not an
Right.
option. One success.
Okay. Mona, the arms are speeding at you. You're just barely keeping ahead of them. You haven't made it there yet. Where's Ethyl in all of this? Is
Ethyl, shoot lasers from the ship.
Yeah, can I actually, like, deteriorate the cannibals as they try to get on the ship?
You can, but it will be a wisdom sin to kill them as they try to jump on board the ship.
They're evil?
Yeah. Do it. Roll deck.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm doing it.
Yeah, there's no paradox on board the time ship.
Ooh, okay. Can I speak in high speech as I do it?
I think you can because it's been a few rounds. So yes, add +2.
And then tell them to be gone. Wither.
Okay.
I spent a willpower point and got 3 successes.
Nice. So yeah, you've actually taken a few points of lethal damage. Your body is healing, but you do know that you're getting overwhelmed at this point.
Yeah.
Victoria, did you get successes on death?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So on one end, the werewolf is holding them. On the other end, a death mage is dissolving them as they get on board.
7.
7. Yeah, you gain a beat and you roll 3 dice.
Okay. One success.
You wish that there had been a better way. As you dissolve them, you see their faces and you recognize them as people. The horror of it fills your soul, but you don't lose wisdom. Just gonna need therapy after this.
Thank God Ethel's rich. Need a lot of therapy.
So rich. Ghost Army rich these days. All right. Hannah, you, Hunts the Storm, Sanjata, and Elora are the last ones on the ground. When the cannibals all merge into one mound of flesh, they scrunch together and start pouring through the portal and all around all of you, trying to condense your flesh into theirs. Because you have saved Sanjata, at this point, Sanjata declares to the prince that he will no longer be his slave. He will no longer accept this. And you see as he takes his divine soul and with a Fate 5 spell, because Sanjata has become a master of fate, there is a snapping and all of the flesh people around you just like release your bodies. And the four of you, Elora, Sanjata, Hannah, and Hunts the Storm, are pushed, which you can resist, through the portal.
Yeah, I was going to push us all through the portal and hold back the blob. So yeah.
The final few stairs just before the gaping white light that is the time ship. The stairs have been shattered below it, but somehow this part remains suspended by Reverend Samuel Paris's magic. The other mages on board are defending you from the abyssal angel that is attacking you at this moment, and it's unclear how long you can stay. As the four of you appear, the group is reunited. Mona, you've managed to get back up to the top with Parallax. But Sanjata collapses, dead.
Let's get out of here! Close the doors!
Hannah is taking Sanjata's body and putting it someplace safe.
Bringing it onto the time ship?
I think yes. They don't want the prince to have him. So yeah, not surprised, but like, no.
Yeah, as you do, he begins to dissolve as his hair crosses into the ship.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he belongs to that timeline.
Oh, that's right. I thought with death. Wait, Ethyl. Ethyl.
Yes. Can we make him a ghost?
You could absolutely make him a ghost, but you could also try to make him that thing that you saw that he was before.
Oh.
I don't know if he was happy like that.
What do we think? Which one feels better?
The angel screams as reality cracks around you.
I mean, making him what he was before stays within what's supposed to happen in time?
The other thing is that what he was before was an undead with a soul, which any other kind of undead that you would try to make him now would not have a soul.
Like, I could not put a soul into him?
Right now, you can stuff his own soul back inside of him. It's bits and pieces because he threw it out. You'd have to stitch his soul back together to reattach it.
Can Hannah help me do that?
Yes.
And help with the body.
I think it's best perhaps we just let him go instead of creating a abomination of who he once was.
That's right. You could just let him die here, and then it would be a paradox, but just that. And Sanjata would finally be gone.
Did he seem happy when we saw him in this new form?
Well, he was tortured and is traumatized and couldn't talk, and this is him being free and then dead. So it would be a...
Is he dead right now?
Yeah.
Can I talk to him as a ghost?
You can, but his soul is broken in these shattered little pieces.
Can I try to ask him what he wants? Ghost.
You can roll Gnosis to do so. But since he's not inside the time ship, there will be paradox. Also, the angel's attacks have increased. Mona, you think that you're the only thing that can hold them back right now.
I don't feel right doing it without asking him. So, unless someone stops me.
Yeah.
What am I rolling?
Gonna roll your death plus Gnosis.
And if I ask him the question in high speech?
You can, so add +2. Actually, you don't have time for that because this is happening momentarily as the angel's trying to destroy you all.
Yeah, Mona is casting a spell from the inside of the ship. It's one of the lightning strikes from the heavens above.
Okay. Yeah, roll Prime Gnosis. And I'll roll for the angel.
Go as fast as you can. I can't hold her off any longer.
Only 2 successes on 20 dice. 5 successes, did you say, Victoria?
Yeah.
Oh, with 5 successes, you stitch the soul back into a semblance of a shape, and you feel that he has done his job. You feel like he's completed his fate, is what he feels, and that he lives only to see this timeline removed. And so, what he would like you to do is find out if he exists in the other timeline as a uncorrupted person. Maybe there is a Nega Sanjata, but that person isn't evil. If he's the evil one, think about how good the good one could be.
Does he get eaten by the Abyssal now?
He will be eaten by the Abyss if he stays here, and he is part of the Abyss. If you fill him full of soul and take him onto the ship, he will become a Promethean.
But he doesn't seem to want that.
He doesn't seem to understand that. Do you want to try to communicate it to him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, what did you get for your successes?
Do I get +2 with using my cross?
Yeah.
5 successes.
Okay. You ward off her attacks, but you must roll again as the conversation continues. And this time, that's 4 successes.
I think we
I'm
should probably.
I'm using up all my willpower.
Can I help Mona?
How do you want to help Mona?
This is not spirits, right?
Exactly. No.
What if I do something like banish? Would that work on them?
No. Victoria, as Ethyl is talking to their spirit, you are conveying this idea, and they say, I helped you to stop the prince. I came back and I saved you. I would do that again. I would always save you. You have struck the greatest blow against this madness that anyone ever has. You have saved this timeline from itself by destroying it. And I would do anything in my power, alive or dead, to stop this timeline.
So does that mean you want to be our zombie friend forever?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Mona. I saw in the chat. How many successes did you get on that roll?
Only 2, so...
As he agrees, the blinding hot flash of the angel becomes magma. All of you are hit by a blast of magma, dealing what will be 8 points of lethal damage.
Unless we have reflexive mage shields.
Unless you have reflexive mage shields.
Can I do a big style reflexive mage shield for us in the ship?
If you do, with your spirit magic, if you do a big reflexive spirit spell, you'll make it so that everybody takes bashing damage instead. That's what spirit magic does, which would be useful in this case.
Yeah.
All right, so instead everyone takes that as 8 bashing, and the time ship doors close. The ship shakes.
Let's get out of here.
As you rush to the controls of the ship, you see that there are a new 5 standing there. Rex, May, the stranger in black, Samuel Paris as their Obermos. And finally, in the position of Acanthus, a woman closes a pocket watch that is quite familiar to you, Parallax. It's Elora, obviously older. And that is where we're going to end this season.
Ooh. Elora finally became a time mage. That's what I always wanted.
Oh, man. That's so epic.
Man.
What happens if our bashing boxes are full / past?
You roll stamina resolve to stay conscious.
Okay, that's true for Ethyl and Elora.
Same. We get into the control room, we all pass out.
Actually, but it's not true. So as you all are hit by this wave, Hannah and Hunts the Storm do not pass out when they fill up with bashing damage. Hunts the Storm heals it almost immediately, as do the other Croatans. And Hannah, life mages, when they fill up with bashing, or lethal it turns out, just don't need to make those rolls.
Nice.
Mona does walk in and then fall to the ground.
And I think that maybe Hannah heals Mona. Maybe Hannah lets those other 5 steer the ship. Who knows who's going to be in control of the time ship next season? Maybe you shouldn't have left your time ship back in 1692. I think
it can't be as bad as the Prince of 10,000 leaves.
Yeah,
of a few leaves.
Yeah,
quite a few leaves. Some leaves, at least.
Can't be that bad.
The Prince of Friendship leaves.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably the Prince of 100 leaves at this point. He's so weakened. And you can almost all feel that. You have pretty much destroyed him. There is a little bit of the Prince left. And I think that next season is going to be these characters going out and destroying the Prince forever, but not just the Prince, a bunch of different abyssal entities, and doing it in small teams that you pick from the witches who are assembled here.
We have to go to Egypt.
True. We also need to decide what's going to happen to the timeline, because what happens to the people back in 1692 if you go forward is they live out their lives. What happens to the people back in 1692 if you go backwards is they cease to exist.
Yeah, let's go visit the dinosaurs.
Right?
Just delete everything.
And the people in 1692 also were very abyssally tainted with cannibal plague, right?
That's right.
Yeah, we should probably not.
Yeah, and because you didn't sign the concordant, that means that there's nothing that prevents people from talking about the Abyssal Plague. So let me tell you this, that if you go forward in time and haven't dealt with the Abyssal Plague, it will spread again. You've cleaned it up for now, but...
Yeah, I think we should go back to when it all started, have a little pizza party, and then go out.
Pyramid pizza party!
Pyramid pizza party.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's probably what we'd say to the new steering committee. What kind of pizza do you like?
And they're like, what's pizza? And May's like, I'll have 10.
How delicious is pizza?
So
Probably
good.
that delicious to someone from 1692, right? It's got a lot of cheese, which your dietary system is not designed. Oh, no. To the
People eat
average person.
People eat tons of cheese.
Tons of cheese? Okay. Well, then it's perfect. Everybody loves cheese. Tomatoes, whatever.
But yeah, they might be less jazzed about the tomatoes, but
Did
Sorry.
Did
Oh, yeah.
indigenous people eat cheese?
I don't know.
I don't know if indigenous people ate cheese or not.
Yeah.
They'd be better off digesting cheese than milk, though, because hard cheeses after 6 months are lactose free, which makes cheese a more digestible form of milk for most humans, as well as a preservation process. And you can make cheese by just leaving raw milk out in the sun. It just won't be necessarily great.
Well, I would also say that as a werewolf, now we're in werewolf pizza party, you can probably eat it no matter what, and whether you like it or not is up to you.
That's
Hey, can we wear our PJs for our pizza party?
PJs.
Oh, yeah. I think that there does need to be some sort of where is everybody living now? What What does everyone's PJs look like?
Oh, Hunts the Storm. Do I have a great idea for you? And we're going to go to the Cosmographicum. Did I remember that right?
Or the modularium to make stuff?
Yeah, darn. And I want to make Hunts the Storm one of those like all body PJ sets that has like the hood, but the hood looks like a wolf. And he's got the little feet. And he's the coziest he's ever been. And Ethyl's got like big fluffy slippers. And it's like, all right, pizza, PJs, everything is fine again.
This is a good suit for hunting.
It's a wonderful suit for hunting. I think, yeah, I just think you're going to enjoy it. It's got a little tail.
And it's
too.
very comfortable.
And yeah, I think that there's a number of these little cutscenes that play as the credits go by.
Very, very grumpy new mages in pajamas looking at pizza. Very happy mages in pajamas eating pizza. Byron just looking uncomfortable with his ghost friends, or life of the party.
I think that there's a real awkward stillness in the ghost realm where they're all kind of just like standing there looking around at each other. And then the ghost of Ethyl Stubbs, the real Ethyl Stubbs that's been following Ethyl around the whole time, shows up and really hits it off and turns into a rager, wild ghost party. Occasionally they take over the Ethyls and the Ethyls' bodies spontaneously dance.
Amazing.
I want to soak up the sun.
As for experience, everyone gets 5 experience. Sounds like a lot.
Wow.
Wow.
You defeated an abyssal timeline.
What about our aspirations?
Yeah, what about beats for aspirations? Let's go. Hunts the Storm.
I think I got a lot of them. Escape from or destroy the Negatimeline.
Yep.
Get back to the time ship and use the time ship.
Yep. That's, yes.
Destroy and purify evil in the abyss.
Yes, that happened. In the hug. The hug count.
Okay.
I had like a bunch of powers that the prince had, but then you just invoked his bane and took away all of his health right away.
Power of
Nice.
friendship.
Yeah, that was
That
great.
was like way easier than I was expecting. I was like, oh, we could have just hugged him the whole time.
Yeah.
When you did hug and destroy him and reject the offer, that is what caused the angel to awake and start to like really try to get you. But yeah.
That's more optimal. I'll get him out.
Other people with aspirations?
Yeah, I think I got 2 of 3 of my aspirations. Oh, maybe. So 1, hurt the Prince of 100,000 Leaves.
Definitely.
2, stop being hungry.
Yeah.
3, the 3rd aspiration was keeping Ethyl on the righteous path. Which I think was 1, talking to Sanjata before turning him into a Promethean, but killed a bunch of cannibals.
No, I think that Ethyl would have already done that. I think that neutral, no beats for that one.
And then my obsessions was stopping the Concordant.
Yep, that happened. You must now get a new obsession.
Did we reclaim reality?
I think that can continue to be your obsession. You can take a beat for it.
Cool. And then save the innocents.
Yes.
Saved a bunch of people.
Yeah, especially the Croatans, but you really did. You saved a lot of people.
Yeah. Everything. Check, check.
Ethel, do you have some aspirations and obsessions that you met?
I do. Did I learn more about magic?
Yes.
Cool. That's one of my aspirations. Another one of my aspirations was PJ Party.
Okay, yeah. That's
Amazing.
you did put it into the credits, but that counts.
Okay, I'll get rid of that one now. But I'm really happy we reached that aspiration. And then for my obsessions, bring people back from the dead.
Yes, that counts.
Yes. Do I have to get rid of that, or can I continue to have that as an obsession?
With that. You haven't done it perfectly.
Okay, and then my other one is I still had raise Ghost Army.
Yeah, you raised them up into the sky. Take a beat for it.
Cool, and then I should probably get my Ghost Army off of my obsessions, huh?
Yeah, or you can do another obsession about your ghost army. Now that you've raised it, what do you do with it? We got some time to figure that out. Mona, what about you for aspirations, obsessions?
Aspirations. Leave the death realm.
You've done it.
Confront the prince.
Did it.
Destroy the well box.
You did it.
Find out, and then obsessions. Find out how things work.
Yep.
Fix the paradox timeline.
Yes.
And speak with God angels. I think I have 5. I didn't really do much speaking.
You didn't speak God angels this time.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to reach out, but...
Actually, take a beat for failing to speak with God angels. You encountered one and you failed to speak to it. Trevor.
So I had one that was destroy the Zigguraut.
Yep.
Confront the prince.
Yep.
Learn time magic.
I don't think that one happened.
No, all right. Just keep Elora safe.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
You know what? Learn time magic did happen with those divinations where you saw the prince controlling it. I think take a beat for that.
All right, cool.
Keep Elora safe? Yeah, she's safe now.
Yeah. And yeah, that's it. So
yeah. Well, you all accomplished way more aspirations than you usually do. And we concluded things. You didn't murder everybody.
Elora has an aspiration to awaken. Has that now happened for her?
It hasn't. This is an alternate version of Elora who is here. Older Elora as Parallax's watch. And in the final credits scene, we see older Elora and Parallax having a moment where she says, when you give her that watch, I'll know that you're ready. And then she portals on out somehow. She leaves through the side of the time ship into the time stream.
Wow.
When you say older Elora, how old are we talking?
You would say